Anyways, what's up, everyone? This is Cyrus Igono, and we have a special guest on today, AJ Colores, longtime friend, business partner. This is the Indie Podcast where we're discussing, coming up as a solo entrepreneur, working from home, as you could say, whatever it takes to just make more money and attain freedom, have the ability to do what you want, buy what you want, go where you want, all the things that everybody dreams of. Today,
definitely. Glad to be here. It's a great pleasure, and definitely excited for what you got going on with it.
Exactly. Today we're going to talk about starting a business or starting your idea from scratch, from nothing. Me and AJ have had a whole lot of reps doing this over years, and it's something that, I would say that we're experts at.
Yeah.
So, today I want to just start off talking about stagnation, right? So, a lot of people, when as the world progresses, technology is replacing jobs. So
right.
everyone's job is going to have an element of computers as the world progresses. And it's like, as that's happening, people are starting to see that they can make money by themselves, selling stuff online. So a lot of people are trying to really get into that. And a lot of the times people have great ideas, but they never actually do anything with it. What are some examples that you've seen with that?
I'd say that's in general how it is. People, maybe even a lot of times before, had great ideas, but never really knew how to take that and make it something in real life. And, like you kind of touched on it, with technology and with the advancement of it, yeah, it's taken away jobs from the cookie-cutter, press-button sector. But, I feel like it's definitely replacing it with a more, your own destiny style of, you create with those great ideas that you've never had time for. Now you have the internet, which is a means to, connect with any type of manufacturer you could ever think of, and then distribute any type of product you can ever think of. So it's a shift. I wouldn't say it's losing jobs, it's just displacing them to a different area, which is an area where people can be creative and, do all the things that they always wanted to do. Just, it's everybody's kind of getting into it now, or we all as a society new for everybody. So everybody figure out how to find them in this desolate land of inventions and just things you can sell, whatever it may be.
Exactly. Yeah, it's kind of funny, and I would say that, just talking about this, the chapter about stagnation, when we first started Royal Epic, which is our first idea with a clothing company, we actually didn't know how to build websites. And, it took us a whole long period of time to, get that figured out. What kind of expand on that story a little bit?
All right, so let's see. When we first started, yeah, definitely we had to build our website. I know everybody goes through this, right? You pay somebody to build your site. Someone builds it for you. You don't know how to operate it. You kind of slow down because you don't know how to update your site. It's not what you fully wanted, and everybody kind of goes through that with their first web designer or whatever it may be. And that's we're the same thing, and this is around 2007 this is happening. So at the time, I'd been learning coding, and I think a lot of people were kind of leaning towards that direction. So by later on 2008, I know we had moved staff, and that was the first time I built a website. Was in the code in Flagstaff. I just put it all together, and we came out with what I thought today. Trash, but for me, and at that time, it was deep. It was a brand new site, and I was very excited to build it. So it was definitely stagnation, but kind of the same type of thing. The internet's there. If you want to learn and have a desire to learn something, you can totally learn it. So we ended up rolling out with a new site that we knew how to update and we know how to do all that stuff. And I think something a lot of entrepreneurs day and age is learning how to do stuff yourself. And even from that, the whole time I knew I could code a little bit to a certain level. I didn't do it to a level that that we were going to. I didn't build a PHP shopping cart that was going to be able to take orders online. I didn't think my skill level was to that level. And Cyrus, pushed me, and he knew it was. He knew we could do it. And probably a year after we came out with the first website, we ended up coming out with a full-out online shopping cart pretty much before everybody, the same type of thing. And because we didn't stagnate, and we always kind of pushed for more and better, and to kind of keep up with the bigger brands that we kind of saw ourselves in their shadow and that we were trying to emulate. So it's there for anybody to learn, and especially the same type of thing. It gets easier and easier as time goes on to actually roll out with the car or roll out with the whatever it may be with the technology and everything. It's the only limiting thing is your own self-belief of what you can do and what you have time for.
Yeah. So, I mean, some things that we didn't do that other people should do that are listening to this is that we didn't, initially go on YouTube or ask Google. At that time, people now literally ask Google questions. At that time, we were big on search and figuring out how to do stuff, but we never, crossed our mind, I can watch a tutorial on YouTube on how to do a website. That never crossed our mind at that time,
Yeah, I think, nowadays it's a whole lot easier to learn stuff, but that's even just a mindset. Obviously, there was tutorials then that we probably could have watched, and, further research we could have done aside from our own. And we're pretty good at Google searching, but, kind of like you touched on it, the way you structure a Google search or actually just asking the question. That's something that, people do, people don't do, or, everybody searches a different way. And, I'm sure we could have just given a little bit more time, 3 feet from gold, if we just searched a little bit longer. I'm sure we came across those answers faster. And even now, today, it's even easier to find those answers.
Yeah, so, selfless plug, right? You could, one, go on YouTube and just search how to build a WordPress site, and 3 hours later you can have one. Or there's services out there like one that we have. It's called outletdomains.com, where we could actually just build you a website custom, and you just pay $3 a day moving forward, and it'll be custom to your liking. So, I mean, there's services out there for anybody to get going, and your website is the foundation. It's the floor to your house, so it's the most important.
Company. The face of it. And, there's for different people at different skill levels, some people don't do well with computers at all, and they would be more happy to have someone build it and just charge a very low monthly fee, and that's that. And some people are more creative, and they kind of want a whole lot more control of what they're doing. So, it's there's all types out there, but definitely regardless of how you end the end result, the website is something you absolutely need. It's the face business card, it's a phone number.
Yeah, so, I mean, again, we're talking about starting an online idea, and, the website is something that, hung us up literally for about a year and a half to fully starting to, manifest our dream. So that's something that, when you're thinking about your idea, you got to hurdle that fast. Don't let it slow you down like it slowed us down for a year and a half. That's a lot of time, Don't make that mistake when you do it. The second thing that I would say, there's 3 major things. The second thing that I would say is people don't really have, organization or structure. And, the disclaimer in this is, for anybody who knows me, this has probably been one of my weakest areas as any entrepreneur experiences. When you have an idea, it may be simple, but if it's not structured, I read something the other day, and it really messed me up because it was so profound. But it's like, you know, power without structure is anarchy, and
right.
you know, and it really is true because you have great ideas, very, very talented people around, but if people don't understand their job, or if it's not very simple, people get lost, and the less secure or lost people are, the more that people can, like, it can be taken from the vision of where you're trying to go.
Totally. The person with the idea is ultimately the one with the plan. And it's definitely with being an entrepreneur, it's easy to think of one idea, then think of the next, and think of the next. But that's something we've learned over the years, having a good, solid structure, a plan for your idea, a plan of action. It's just like football or any. You need to have a plan, and you need to execute the plan. And you're going to come across things that you didn't expect, but having the plan allows you to be better prepared to maneuver the situations when they come up, as opposed to really just freestyling, which it could work, but you want to set yourself up to be in the situation, and that comes with planning, as with anything.
Yeah. So some things I want to kind of throw out there to people are some tools that they could use to not run into the same problems
right.
that I've experienced. So one of them is Evernote. I'm pretty new to it, but it's really cool because anybody who's an entrepreneur has a notepad where they just write down things they need to do, and it's an ambiguous document with just a bunch of words on it that only you know, right? But with Evernote, it allows it's web-based, so you can have it on multiple computers, you can have it on your smartphone, etc. And it's really amazing because before, I would have 3 different notepads on 3 different computers, and if I needed to transfer the information, I'd have to email it to myself. Recently I had one of my computers, get taken from me on accident or on purpose, whatever it may be, and I lost that whole notepad. So it's like, who knows what was on that notepad that I needed to do or I really need to remember? I still don't know. And if you had Evernote, you could actually have that all in one place, and you wouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, cloud-based stuff, I think everybody can see it is the future, but then kind of intertwining that with a notepad or with the things you can jot down your thoughts and keep track of what you're trying to do is really, really important, because it's easy to, touch sites, get lost, and et cetera, especially if, like Cyrus and me, if we're jumping between different computers or different devices, you want to have something that's, online that you can connect to, that you always have your, kind of virtual notepad that's there, that you always can see what you have going on. That's important. The same type of thing, I have a notepad, I have stuff that I need to get done, but it's always better if I have that on a more online thing that's accessible anywhere, because you never know what computer or what situation you're in where you need to pull up that information quickly. And a lot of the companies like Evernote, they're kind of the leading solution for that. And it's kind of it makes sense to do. It makes sense in today's day and age to have that, because you're only setting yourself up to be more prepared and make sure you don't forget anything. Which as a budding entrepreneur or someone to do anything really, it's easy to forget the little things and come back to bite you with clients or with projects or whatever it may be. So you're taking notes, definitely not just having it, but taking the notes in situations where you need to, and you need to have things where you remember. Having the notepad there and something to look back at is it's like it's like having the thing that you need to have to make sure you get the job done.
Exactly. So the second one out of the 5 tools is Bubble. So it's Bubble, BUBBL.us, and it's a mind mapping website. So with a free account, you can create 3 mind maps, and it literally allows you to work out your idea step by step, right? So humans learn in different ways. You can have a business but you also need to, visually diagram your business plan. And when we're talking about structure, having the mind map of the start to finish of your product or service is very, very important. And Bubble will allow you to do that for free. And it's really simple. It's really easy. We're going to link to it here in the notes of the show, and you should definitely take advantage of it, to help streamline your process.
Yeah, mind mapping is huge, especially when you're trying to explain your idea to someone else, whether it be, your team members or an investor, anybody really. Being able to, for someone to see the entire process, see the parts connect, and like what it all means in the grand scheme is important. And you can do that yourself on a piece of paper. It would be best, especially when they have the free version out there. Be able to, write it, have people collaborate with you on it, and it's important. It's definitely brought a lot of clarity to the ideas that me and Cyrus have, and it's good practice to map out your stuff because you know how people are when they think in their head and it's best in that format. But you gotta put it down. You gotta write it all out, and it's gonna help you better understand your own idea.
Of course. The third thing out of the 5 things is Google Drive. It's just brainstorming, right? We have another video up that we'll also link to here, and it talks about, brainstorming your idea and, doing the research. It's a process to do research on the market, competitors in your marketplace, and just, being very efficient and creating a working document of who you are and who you're not. It's very, very important. The most successful ideas that we've had, we actually took the time to brainstorm. And I would tell anybody that if you have a dream and it's not written down, it's just a wish. If you have a dream and you have it written down, it's a goal. So it's very important, the brainstorming process. What do you think about it?
It's above anything. I don't even know what the next 2 tools you're about to say. Above anything, this brainstorming with Google Drive is the most important thing. We have told this to people that don't end up using it necessarily, but I think in general, everybody's probably going to come back to it because it's literally the most important thing you can do for your idea. Cyrus has a video out where he explains pretty in-depthly what all goes into one of these things that we do. And it's taken from a lot of really smart people that we've talked to over the years. And, I have mine set as the home page on my internet browser because I like to see it every time I look at the computer. And I understand kind of the big picture of what I'm trying to do and all of these little things I do to make sure I get to where I want to go. And it's as simple as just like a database. It's not even that complex of a thing, but I'd say it's just a good practice to have to keep your ideas organized in this way and kind of make sure that you're constantly filling it out because it's going to grow. It's going to grow just like you do. You make new sheets onto it. I have a new sheet that stuff I do every day or whatever it may be, and it's literally the most important thing. I definitely, you have to, if you're going to learn anything from this, you have to take this one aspect and do it, and you have to watch Cyrus's YouTube video explaining how he has set one of these up for an artist. And it relates to someone that's a good example because it's someone who's trying to pursue a career. And, a lot of people, especially artists, would say, I want to be, or I want to be, successful or known for this. And that's just the idea. They need to more collect the entirety of their idea and put it all on one sheet of paper. They know where they're going. And, that's what this process that Cyrus is talking about really explains and is all about. And it can change. It can be whatever you want to be. Our even mine and Cyrus look different, have different tables. It expands in such a different way. And once you start kind of training your mind to this way, you'll understand the beauty, the simplicity of just having a sheet like this that you kind of hold yourself to on a daily basis. And it's the greatest gift, honestly, me or Cyrus could give anybody because really a way for them to make their dreams come true, whatever they may be.
Exactly. Yeah, the fourth thing is pretty simple one. Just having a Dropbox account, a paid Dropbox account. I think it's important when you're starting an idea because you're going to have a lot of files. You can save them to Drive, but I would suggest using Dropbox because, Dropbox has like a media player in there as well. I guess Drive does as well. But, at least for me, my Drive is got full really fast. So just paying the $9 to Dropbox, really made it simple. And with services out there like ifttt.com, you can actually sync a lot of stuff to automatically save to your Dropbox or pull from it, etc. It's a pretty simple service, but I think it's very important on growing your business and scaling your business is having tools for storage like Dropbox.
It's super important. These are the tools we have to have in today's age. I know it's hard to think, oh, this company's going to take $10 from me every month. But, honestly, you spent $10 on something ridiculous the past 3 days that wasn't worth it. And, where the world's going, everybody wants to get you on a subscription, and there's certain bare essentials that you're going to have in life and that you're going to have to be subscribed to. One of them is a personal Dropbox account, $10, a gigabyte of space, or what is it, 1,000 gigs?
I think it's a terabyte.
It's a terabyte. It's a terabyte of online space, host your files, and kind of like Cyrus was saying with Evernote, how I have my Dropbox now is I have folders that have all of my Illustrator and Photoshop documents in them, so I'm not limited to just one computer that I have to, if I need to hop on and do my files on another computer, they're right there for me, and it's like having just your life more of in a secure online place where you can access it. I cannot stress enough how important. It's one of the most important things you're going to need is a Dropbox account. Just to breathe, it's like trying to live without a bank account. You just need to survive out there. It's like your computer online. There's really no getting around it. Even if you don't understand, buy yourself a Dropbox, $9 a month, or buy it for the year, whatever. You're going to need it, and you're going to want to integrate it into your life as much as possible. You're just removing yourself from the normal restriction of, oh, I don't have that file, or oh, how am I going to send this to you, or just in general, collaborating with people on projects. It's a rite of passage. You're going to have to get it like a cell phone. So, there's certain things you're going to have to get online, and you're going to have to get for them. It's going to be a Dropbox. So, just account for that $9 extra because it's nothing anyway.
Yeah, and the second, or the final thing, not the second thing, the final thing is just using a system like Basecamp, where you can interact with multiple people and clients all on a digital platform. And, Basecamp is pretty cool because every time something gets done, everybody gets sent an email. It's a little bit better than using a Facebook group, which we've tried to do that before because you don't have 20 Facebook groups. You can just have it all in the Basecamp. And Basecamp is pretty cool because they're very up on updating their platform. And it's also available in the iPhone app as well.
Yeah, you gotta have that organization. And, it's easy to do that. You can do it by yourself or with the use of third like Basecamp, but they just make it so easy. They know when you're what you're getting with, and you go to Basecamp, log into your everybody knows what it is. Everybody knows the tab. Knows what they're going to check stuff, and it's kind of like a CRM for the real world, and you're working with people. So it's necessary to make sure you cover all aspects of the project when you're working on it. And like Cyrus said, you can use Facebook, but it's great having a specific tool that like when you go to this site, that's what you're going there for. And it kind of just cuts the fat when it comes to that stuff.
Totally. So To kind of wrap things up, I'm going to tell everyone to go and read 2 books. One, it's The Success System That Never Fails by W. Clement Stone. And then the second one is Lead with the Story by A.T. Chandler. And then the additional thing I'll tell people to do is to go to YouTube and search What Is My Why, and understand the way that the top companies look at what they're doing and how they present themselves to the public. And those 2 books, like I said, The Success System That Never Fails and Lead with the Story, are books that are going to shape your message and the way that you look at what you're doing. Along with that, there's a paid ebook course that I'm going to link to as well that can also give you further knowledge if you want to, learn the intricacies of doing what you're planning to do. And then, we're also here online. I'll link to AJ's stuff. You can hit me up whenever you want, and I'll definitely help you trying to get to where you're trying to go. So thanks for spending time with us, and, we look forward to hearing from you. What do you got to say, AJ?
That was that pretty much covered it. It's any idea you want to do, you can definitely bring it to light. And those books that Cyrus mentioned, that's the blueprint. The things that anyone should know involved in stuff, so you're not running around like a chicken with your head cut off. Those are the things you need to know. Like Cyrus said, what's your why? Definitely search that up, because you're going to want to understand why you're trying to do, or what you're trying to do, whatever. And with those tools, and then like Cyrus said, you could reach out to him online, or we're always trying to help people. But with those tools in general, you're going to be able to do what you want to do in life with whatever you